Hey, Shalom, Shalom, Shalom. I can first and foremost call hello Yahweh, Shem Yahushai, Shem Kodash. Double honors once again go out to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who continue to teach us His truth. All right, and therefore we in turn try to give you this knowledge and wisdom. All right, this is Naaman with the DC camp, and once again, this video is going to reinforce what should be painfully clear to our people. It was never meant for us to prosper, all right, in the United States of America. This video is going to make that point quite clear, because this gentleman here that I'm about to introduce to you, for those who do not know him, he works, Dr. Greg Carr. He's here in the District of Columbia at Howard University. He teaches law, and he's also with the so-called African American Studies Department. All right, and what he's going to tell you, once again, all this information, these are things that were already out there, but Jake was never taught because you had the scaled down, watered down, nice version of history, which it's a lie. All right, these are the things that were taught to our people on purpose in order for them not to get riled up. All right, again, lies. All right, but this particular information he's about to bring out about Thomas Jefferson and a close friend of his before he died, it was in his will that he free whatever slaves he chose to, all right, whether it be his own or others, and not only free them, but educate them, and, you know, in order to give them a fighting chance. But as you're going to find out, many of these scumbags, and that's what they are, amongst other things, that these Edomites, these individuals that they hold in high esteem, the founding fathers, and, you know, et cetera, are scoundrels. Let's look that word up real quick. You know, and the sad thing is with our people, these are the people that you expect to help you. And if it's left up to these people, these sellouts amongst us, coupled with those that just don't want to know and don't want to know, they just are content in their ignorance, their laziness, they really are Babylonians in the sense that they're caught up in this web of deceit and lies, and they just refuse. And they're going to do, prime example, the Matrix movie. What was the first, in the first one, what was told to Neo? You know, everyone that's not with us, you know, they are enemies. Because I think that was Morpheus that told him that, because they're going to fight so hard to stay where they are. All right, in the Matrix. So here it is. This is scoundrel. It says a dishonest or unscrupulous person, a rogue. Look at the synonyms: rascal, good for nothing, reprobate, unprincipled person, cheat, swindler. What do you know about the history? All right, what Jake will try to deal, you know, look at the contracts. When you look at the fine print, a lot of it's in Latin. All these things are done because they know that Jake, what's the chances of Jake knowing Latin, you know, or, or even reading the fine print. But anything to entrap you, fraudster, trickster, charlatan, villain, bastard, beast, son of a bitch, rat, louse, swine, dog, cur, skunk, hill, snake, snake in the grass, wretch, and there are more, but I think you get the point. That's what you've always been dealing with. These are the people that your Edomite fellow Americans, as they like to call themselves. This is why you're not going to ever get any justice here. So let me go ahead and play this. And I want you to bear in mind that also out there on the highways and byways, and we bring up the point about making comparisons to ancient Egypt and, hey, New Egypt. We bring up the point about the dollar bill and how all of this is linked. Well, Exodus 7th chapter, all right, where you know the story about when Moses, he asked Pharaoh, and these things were, his brother Aaron was, because he was more of an eloquent speaker than Moses. And they went before Pharaoh, and they were to, let my people go because they wanted to worship. And Pharaoh's heart was hardened. Well, you're going to find out. It's much the same thing here. So let's go ahead and roll this. Kosciuszko, remember that name. If you make this point from here on out, there's no such thing as black people, all right? With these African studies and black consciousness and all this, we are Israelites. We were never Hamites or Africans, as they're called now, all right? how much more excited our people should feel to know that those prophets of old were our people too. And that's what our people were never told. So, how much more excited should you be? That's when he died. That's what it means about transition. You have to remember, too, that things of this nature, where you see these little so called, um, how do I want to describe them. It's, you can see the divine hand at work. I don't want to get into it now, but it's a story about one of the Khans, I believe it was Kublai Khan, and the Japanese, where he set off to wipe them out. But you got to remember, prophecy must be fulfilled. What would have happened or not have happened if that would have taken place? All right, same thing here. These things had to happen. All right. Again, let me emphasize once again, because it was not time. All right. It was not time. Certain things, as I said, prophecy had to be fulfilled. All right. The Most High is bound by His word and prophecy. Once again, not Africans, Israelites. You see, once you think about it, it starts to fall apart, those lies that they taught. Scoundrels. There you go. These are the devils the, that have become the heroes, all right, of these Edomites. These call themselves Americans. This is why these scriptures here are so important. This is Exodus 7. Remember, I was talking to you earlier about, at the onset, about, you know, the more things change, the more things remain the same, so to speak. All right, this is Exodus 7 and 1. It says, And the Most High Yahweh said unto Moses, See, I have made thee a god to Pharaoh, and Aaron thy brother shall be thy prophet. Thou shalt speak all that I command thee, and Aaron thy brother shall speak unto Pharaoh, that he send the children of Israel out of his land. And I will harden Pharaoh's heart, and multiply my signs and my wonders in the land of Egypt, what's happening now. All right? And a lot of these Edomites are shook to the extent that the ones with the wealth and means to do so have already left the country, and more are going to do it. All right. Uh, verse 3, it says, and I will harden Pharaoh's heart and multiply thy signs and my wonders in the land of Egypt. Think about the so-called UFOs, and that's what, when we go to, uh, let's see, actually we're in the same chapter. Let's go to, I'll come back to this. As a result of what we're about to go to here. This is Exodus. It says ordinances for the people, 21, and let's see, here it is, 16. It says personal injuries. It says, and he that stealeth a man, hold on, and selleth him, or if he be found in his hand, he shall surely be put to death. All right? Are we not still in the thief's hands? And as a result, what else is going on? Remember, I had mentioned the chariots, right? So this is Zechariah 5th chapter. This is why these things are happening. The heading here is the flying scroll. It says, then I turned and lifted up mine eyes and looked, and behold, a flying roll. And he said unto me, what seest thou? And I answered, I see a flying roll. The length thereof is 20 cubits, and the breadth thereof 10 cubits. Then he said unto me, this is the curse that goeth forth over the face of the whole earth. For every one that stealeth shall be cut off as on this side according to it, and every one that sweareth shall be cut off as on that side according to it. Verse 4, I will bring it forth, saith the Most High Yahweh, the Lord of hosts, and it shall enter into the house of the thief, and into the house of him that sweareth falsely by my name, and it shall remain in the midst of his house, and shall consume it with the timber thereof and the stones thereof. Remember, Jeremiah 10th chapter, what does it say about the heathen being dismayed by the signs in heaven? All right? And that's what's, because what's happened is this devil has always thought that he was superior, he was supreme, he was the top of the food chain. And these so-called UFOs, as he deemed them, all right, he knows that technology he can't touch. They've admitted it on air, all right, how far ahead that technology is, and they don't have a means to cope with it. So this devil is shook, all right, and rightfully so. But look at some of these comments down here. It makes me think of that scene in The Color Purple, 1985, where Miss Millie couldn't allow Miss Sophia, that was Oprah Winfrey's character, to have a day off because she needed someone to drive her home. That's he decided, he was talking about the part where George Washington realized he couldn't free him because he had nobody to run his empire, so to speak. You remember that scene after Oprah Winfrey's character, Miss Sophia, where she knocked the hell out of that Edomite. And I guess it was the sheriff that came and knocked her over the head with a gun, laid her out. And then she was in jail, and that same, she became the property of that family, the guy that she put his ass on the ground. Let's see. Yeah, it says, B. Pre says, Dr. Carr, you weren't there. The last statement made me just sit here contemplating what was said. Jefferson made 4% annually off human trafficking. Damn. All right, true. So I'm going to wrap this up. For all you people that worship these so-called American heroes, all right, just remember, this country has profited and continues to profit off of us in so many ways. And as with ancient Egypt and ancient Pharaoh, they will never, ever let us go. All right. So with that, once again, I hope whoever views this is edified, because at the end of the day, this is done in the really in order to wake up the remaining hopefully elect. So with that, shalom.